New details in a case about a Calgary missing senior and who police believe killed him. Plus, we're hearing from the private charity that stepped in to help with a Calgary abduction case. And some Las Vegas hotels are getting creative in an effort to win back Canadian tourists. We'll have details ahead.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Jacqueline Wilson.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. A portion of Barlow Trail was closed this evening as police dealt with what they're calling an ongoing incident. Details about what's going on are scarce, but police say there's no risk to the public. CPS had Barlow Trail shut down between Memorial Drive and Maxwell Centre to all vehicles and pedestrians. 24th Avenue between 12th and 14th Ave Southeast and 14th Ave and Albert Park was also blocked off. Well, there's been a big development in the case of a missing senior Abdul Mufti, who disappeared more than 2 years ago. CTV News has learned that his remains have finally been identified, and police had previously arrested the suspected killer, but that suspect died before charges could be laid, and that's because he was killed after attacking a woman in a Northwest home earlier this month. Tyson Fedor reports.
It was this home on Falworth Way Northeast where 71-year-old Abdul Mufti was last seen alive on August 3rd, 2023. But it was this field near Stony Trail and 36th Street Northeast where his remains were dumped. In correspondence with Mufti's family, police say on October 10th of 2024, someone out walking found a human skull here. Police soon dug up a few bones and DNA samples were sent for analysis. 6 months later, it was determined they belonged to Mufti.
There was an incident. I don't believe it was ever resolved, and it always has been a kind of like an interesting, kind of like a little tick in my brain. Whatever happened to the fella?
Police executed a search warrant at the home soon after the disappearance, but it was just this week police told Mufti's family they arrested Shabazz Ahmed, Mufti's landlord, in August of 2023. However, there was insufficient evidence to support a murder charge, and he was released. 2 weeks ago, Ahmed lured and attacked a woman into an Edgemont home where she killed him in self-defense. Police told the family Shabazz's unexpected death has changed the course of the investigation into Mufti's murder. And now there are no suspects, but the case remains ongoing.
The police would maybe still be at the level of suspicion for things like, did someone aid and assist in the murder? Right, didn't actually participate in the murder, but maybe counseled the murder or conspired to commit the murder.
Mufti's family has been left in the dark about what happened. His daughter spoke to CTV News in 2023, pleading for help.
Our prime concern is that we want to know, is my father is alive or not?
Mufti's daughter is now questioning investigative efforts, saying that this case raises critical questions about the enforcement of Canadian law, and that had proper investigations and due diligence been carried out at the appropriate time, her father would be alive today, and his tragic murder could have been prevented. And now the family remains waiting for answers they're unsure they will receive. Tyson Fedor, CTV News, Calgary.
No charges have been laid, but police say they are working with Crown prosecutors to determine those next steps. The family is seeking more answers, and they do want their father's remains returned to his home country of Pakistan so he can be properly buried. 3 schools in the Northwest were locked down this morning when police received a call about someone with a weapon. It turns out a person was carrying an airsoft gun along Northmount Drive, but police took no chances. So St. Francis High School, St. Margaret's School, and Collingwood School, they were locked down. The person was taken into custody, and police say that there was no threat to students. 3 people have been arrested after guns and nearly $250,000 in drugs and money was seized after an investigation into Calgary-based drug traffickers. As part of an investigation dating back to July, Alert searched 2 homes and 4 vehicles connected to the suspects. They found 3 loaded firearms, including a sawed-off shotgun. They also found just under $200,000 worth of meth, cocaine, and fentanyl, along with about $50,000 in cash. 2 Calgarians and a Carstairs man are facing drug and firearm-related charges. A Calgary mother is finally reunited with her abducted 7-year-old son after more than 2 years apart. But she says that her international parental abduction case was ignored by the federal government, leaving a private charity to bring him home. It's a story spanning multiple countries, and it highlights frustrations with Global Affairs Canada. Mark Villani reports.
On the shores of this tropical island, where kite surfers ride waves and travelers bask in the sun, it was anything but a vacation for a missing Calgary boy.
I could not rest until this child was back in Calgary.
Police say the then 5-year-old child was allegedly taken out of Calgary in December 2023 by his father, 62-year-old Mohammed Zia Rahman, traveling first to Montreal, then leaving Canada for Turkey, moving through multiple countries including Russia, Azerbaijan, and Vanuatu before arriving in Mauritius. That's where Rahman was arrested last month at the airport.
The abduction had been extensively planned, with the suspect purchasing property overseas, acquiring new passports, and relying on forged documents.
But the child's safe return didn't come from federal authorities. Instead, a private charity called End Violence Everywhere says it made multiple pleas to Global Affairs Canada to help bring the boy home, yet no action was taken.
They did not respond. Why are we giving $75 million a year to Global Affairs when they don't seem to be able to do the job that a private organization did?
That prompted the organization to step in, spending thousands of dollars coordinating international travel, legal logistics, and security to reunite the mother and son just 4 days after the arrest.
This is not about money. This is about expeditious treatment and the urgency of a missing Canadian child.
The mother, who wishes to remain anonymous, says, "I did everything I was told to do, gathered every document, followed every rule, but End Violence Everywhere was the deciding factor." CTV News contacted Global Affairs Canada asking why a private charity had to step in to reunite this child. The department says it's looking into the matter, but no explanation was provided.
These children stay missing. It's wrong, and we're here to fix that.
Mark Villani, CTV News, Calgary.
Mohammed Zia Rahman will be in court tomorrow for a bail hearing. Well, an investigation has been launched after the death of a worker at an oil sands mine north of Fort McMurray. Suncor says a contractor was operating heavy machinery at its Fort Hill site. The provincial government says the worker was inside of a piece of equipment that sank into muskeg. The worker's body has not been found. Suncor says that the investigation is in its early stages, but the incident may have been the result of a medical event. Decades after 2 Calgary teachers sexually assaulted junior high students, some victims will be getting restitution from a school board settlement, which could be finalized next month. In November, Calgary Board of Education reached an agreement with the more than 40 people in the class action lawsuit who said that they were abused by Michael Gregory and Fred Archer while they were teachers at John Ware School between 1988 and 2004. The school board has apologized and agreed to a $15.7 million settlement, which may receive court approval in February.
Anyone who's experienced sexual assault, you have a lot of grief for the things that were taken from you, and that doesn't go away. Not with money, not with change of policy. It's something that's just forever taken from you.
Gregory died by suicide 5 days after he was charged in 2021. Archer was convicted of abusing boys at the school and now faces more charges of sexual assault. Others abused by the men who have not joined the lawsuit have until February 26 to apply. CBE has also agreed to work with some of the victims to help detect and prevent sexual abuse. A replacement for Calgary's problematic water pipe will be done by the end of the year, which is way ahead of what was originally planned. City officials say that they are fast-tracking the infrastructure fix because the old feeder main could burst again at any moment. Jordan Kennigan has more.
The equipment has arrived and crews are on site. Construction on a new pipeline for Calgary's largest feeder main is set to start.
We're well on track to delivering in one single year what would otherwise take 4, and this reflects the urgency the Calgarians have shown us.
Construction was initially supposed to begin in the spring and run until 2028. Now it's starting right away and will be done by December of this year.
You'll also see construction equipment out in the community of Bowness as we're doing investigations to determine how we are going to deliver that last 2 kilometers. We need all of that done this year.
It's urgency out of necessity. The pipe has burst twice in 18 months with worry it could rupture any time, but construction is starting before a detailed plan is completed and without even knowing the full cost.
It will cost more to do this faster, so we are pulling that together and we will bring it to council when we have that information.
Those living nearby know what's at stake.
Well, I think they're acknowledging the severity of the situation, and for those of us who are impacted, I think it's a very positive move in the right direction.
It's kind of about your assessment of risk, whether or not the risk is high enough that you have to expedite it. So they've decided to forego their normal tender process and let's get it done.
Construction disruptions will be happening, and more water restrictions are likely in the fall and spring.
We are moving mountains to get this done, and in order for us to achieve this mission, we're going to have to ask Calgarian support as well.
Jordan Cadigan, CTV News, Calgary.
Avi Lewis, a federal NDP leadership candidate, hosted a campaign event in Calgary tonight. It took place at the Royal Canadian Legion, Branch 1. Lewis is a professor at UBC and a former journalist. His grandfather, David Lewis, was a leader of the federal NDP in the early 70s. Lewis says his campaign focuses on the affordability crisis.
We came out swinging with big solutions to the cost of living emergency. The everyday emergency of just trying to get by in an impossible economy is what Canadians, especially working class Canadians, are facing every grinding day. We need a public option for groceries, cell phones, and internet.
Lewis is one of 5 candidates running for leadership. The party will pick their next leader at the Winnipeg Convention, March 27th to 29th. Danielle, I brought out the parka again, the winter boots, the gloves, and I think I'm going to need it.
So you're prepared.
I'm ready.
Good. Yeah, because you need to keep it around for another day or so, because we're even going to get colder as we go through these overnight hours and through tomorrow morning with a wind chill of minus 28 in the city. By tomorrow afternoon, though, the wind chill will be a little more reasonable at minus 18. This does come with a mix of sun and cloud for tomorrow, but we have a big whack of snow on the way for Friday night and Saturday, especially throughout Saturday. We'll talk more about that coming up. Don't miss the Foothills Hospital Home Lottery VIP deadline. Buy your tickets before midnight tomorrow and you are in to win the Audi Q8 VIP prize or choose $100,000 cash. Buy now at foothillshospitalhomelottery.com.
Seducing Canadian tourists up next after the break. What some hotels in Vegas are doing to get the Canadian tourists back in Sin City.
You're watching CTV News, Calgary.
3 downtown Las Vegas hotels are getting creative in an effort to win back Canadian tourism. The hotels are now accepting the loonie at par with the American dollar, and not just for accommodations, but at resort bars and casinos too. As Tim Brooke explains, business leaders say it's their way to win back their best friends.
Over the cold Canadian winter months, Las Vegas usually sees Canucks flock to the city in the desert, but not so much as of late.
There's something clearly missing, and that's the lack of Canadian tourism.
Las Vegas air traffic is down almost 10% year over year, and the biggest declines are coming from Canadian Airlines, Vegas's largest international market.
Canadian tourism on a monthly basis, it's been down anywhere from 25% to 50%.
And so, new incentives. Downtown hotels Circa, The D, and Golden Gate have begun accepting the struggling Canadian dollar at par with the American dollar.
If you don't stay here, no sweat. We have a bar in each one of our 3 hotels that we've designated as a Canadian bar. And then if you have $500 Canadian, we'll give you $500 American in a voucher to play slots at any one of our 3 casinos.
The push follows similar tourism moves in Washington, Montana, California, and even at Walt Disney World.
Losing even a fraction of that traffic means that we lose billions in tourist spending and tens of thousands of jobs are at stake. That's significant, especially given the general malaise in the economy.
This slowing travel demand can be linked directly back to the re-election of U.S. President Donald Trump. Among Canadians who have not recently traveled to the States, 34% cite their feelings about Trump or the way America is treating Canada.
And you now understand why Canadians have stopped going to tourist destinations like Las Vegas. Every state can tell you how much their economy is losing.
Just not wanting to support what's going on right now makes sense.
It's not worth it like that, and Trump's being crazy, so.
Hotel owners say they understand deals alone won't be enough for many travelers, but they hope some rethink the boycotts.
We miss our best friends.
Tim Brooke, CTV News, Calgary.
WestJet has already reduced the number of American flights by 10% due to a lack of demand. It tells CTV News it anticipates more reductions in its transborder network in 2026. Alberta's agriculture minister is traveling to Dubai tomorrow to promote Alberta as a global trade partner. RJ Sigurdsson's office says that the United Arab Emirates has expressed interest in working with Alberta to address food security. The hope is to lock down investments and open new overseas markets for our province's producers and processors. The minister plans to attend Gulf Food. It's the world's largest show for food and hospitality businesses. The week-long trip wraps up on the 30th. Well, a new program is providing young Canadians with paid work placements. Calgary Economic Development has launched Talented Greater Calgary. The program connects youth aged 18 to 24 with employers to help them transition from education to the workforce. The province provided $3 million in funding. Students are offered free AI and digital training, and wages are often subsidized by the program.
Being paid it was something that it was kind of like mind-blowing. I was like, oh my gosh, like, whoa, I can actually like do things and I get paid. It's kind of like that really interesting feeling of being rewarded for the work that you do. And I think it motivates you in a different way as a student because it makes everything feel much more real.
The program hopes to create 2,000 work placements and projects for youth by next year. All right, stay with us. Danielle Savoni is back along with her Skywatch weather forecast.
Well, the cold air is certainly here, and it's going to get even colder tonight and through tomorrow morning, and then we're going to start making our way up again. -9 was the high in Calgary today, but that was early in the morning, and then temperatures just continue to drop throughout the day in the city, as we talked about, rather than warm, and wind chills were in the -20s. All right, base temperature for a daytime high for Regina, -21, Saskatoon, -24. So colder there. Lots of cold warnings in place. And for Alberta, we really have it in place from the U.S. border foremost up through Medicine Hat to areas east of Brooks and Drumheller, Hanna, Oyen in this, and up. This is where we're looking at wind chill values between -40 and -45 throughout tonight and early tomorrow morning. And again, with that kind of wind chill, you can get frostbite to exposed skin in less than 10 minutes. So certainly some cold to take seriously. And while we don't have warnings in place for areas off to the east of this, it's certainly still frigid out there, and frostbite can happen to exposed skin in less than 30 minutes. So yeah, this is the coldest part of it. We're going to slowly start to make our way up, though, temperature-wise on the weekend. We've had a little bit of light snow in many communities, Calgary included, mainly a light dusting of snow, but up to even 2 centimeters in some localized areas. So we're done with the snowfall for now. For tomorrow, we're just looking at sun with cloudy periods at times. It's Saturday, even Friday night, that we are looking at some more snow creeping in, and this is a big bout of snow. This one is one you're going to have to shovel. This will be a significant snowfall, especially as we move into Saturday, when it looks like it will hover over the city. So basically south of Red Deer, down the QE2, down Highway 2 to Lethbridge, and even peeking into the Milk River area. This is where we're looking at the bullseye area for this significant snowfall. How much you can expect? Well, for overnight tonight, just maybe another light dusting. So we're not looking at really accumulating anything tonight from this first wave. But the second wave that arrives Friday night and Saturday, anywhere from 5 to 10 centimeters is possible in the city of Calgary and along QE2, as you can see from Red Deer down through Airdrie, Okotoks to High River. You can expect 5 to 10 centimeters of snow. A little less is expected for Lethbridge, around 6 centimeters. But certainly something significant, and it will make driving quite tricky. -11 will be our high tomorrow, but in the morning hour, wind chill will be closer to that -30 mark. And again, Friday night in through Saturday, that significant snowfall. Temperatures will really start to increase, and you'll notice that on Sunday with a high of -1 by then. Don't miss the Foothills Hospital Home Lottery VIP deadline. Buy your tickets before midnight tomorrow and you are in to win the Audi Q8 VIP prize or choose $100,000 cash. Buy now at foothillshospitalhomelottery.com.
All right, thanks, Danielle. Well, it might be a little cold to go for a ski tomorrow, but an Alberta man's invention for helping locate kids at ski resorts is coming to Jasper's Marmot Basin. The Ski Crumb. It's a radio-based GPS system that can track your child while out on the slope. The company says it's an alternative to tracking apps that sometimes fail when cell service drops or batteries freeze. The tech is available at some ski resorts in BC and is now coming to Marmot. Keith McIntyre was inspired to create the device after he lost his son on a mountain for 45 minutes.
It is the most fulfilling thing I've ever done. I talked to thousands of parents, and anyone that skis a significant amount of time has had some incident. And whether it's 5 minutes or 2 hours, that's too long to be separated from your child.
So it costs $20 to rent at Marmot Basin or $199 to purchase for yourself. Well, an Airdrie man's life has changed forever after winning the lottery. After the break, we'll tell you how he celebrated the big win. The local theatre group is bringing a little piece of Alberta history to life.
I'm interested in one ghost in particular, the old cowboy.
The erratic players are performing Raiders of the Lost Lemon Mine at the Twin Cities Saloon in Longview. It's based on a legend that dates back to the 1870s when two men discovered a massive amount of gold in the mountains west of town. One of them got a little greedy and killed his partner. The story is the only thing that remains with the gold because the gold has never been found.
So we've heard kind of two sets of feedback. Those that say, oh, I've never heard of the Lemon Mine, tell me more. And those that have lived and breathed it for years. You talk to any of the locals and they go, oh, when I was 7 years old, I tried to find the mine.
So the play is interactive. The audience gets to solve the clues and possibly find the gold. The show runs from January 30th until March 1st. Well, an Airdrie man is starting the new year a millionaire. Just prior to Christmas, Andrew Plummer checked his email to find out he had claimed the $1 million Max Million prize. The winning ticket was bought on Play Alberta. The local chef first told his boss, and he admits he almost walked out on the spot. Plummer plans to use the money to escape the Alberta cold and to purchase a new car. Well, congratulations. That is awesome. All right, that is all from us. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good night.